who don't have this self-confidence, who don't have knowledge as a tool to kind of like arm yourself against people's, like verbal attacks. And you have a way to like block out all that negativity when you have an idea about what you stand for, who you are, what you believe in. So I was thinking about this the other day, that like people should look into topics, not even people, like more so myself, and I say myself, but I do mean people, but I'm like not trying to like impose this on people, because it's like it is my opinion. So it's like it's coming from like my perspective, and it's not gonna, I mean, it does really apply for people. It should apply to every fucking body. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but people should look into self-confidence, self-awareness, self-love, and develop a sense of what those things are, and kind of try to find the thing in each of these subjects that pertain most to you. You might be strong in this field, and you might be weaker in another. So maybe you have problems, maybe you just have problems like socializing with people. Like maybe you have problems just walking up to somebody and saying hi. And the crazy thing is that like people are, like the fear only really comes from being judged, and like you not really having the right things to say to defend yourself and kind of like disarm the person. That's where the fear comes from. So it's like say if you walk up to somebody and you might say whatever the fuck, and they might not be as developed as a person, because like remember, negative things only come from negative people, and what's the point of being a negative person? They're obviously not a very developed person when you're always just so negative, because obviously you have no control over your problems or your emotions. So it's like people don't understand that the only people who judge are the people who judge themselves, and you should have nothing to be ashamed for, because you're you, bro. And it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, I'm not you, you're not me, so why should we give a fuck about each other's lives? We should just fucking vibe out and just be just like chill, bro. It's like, it's really not that serious. It really isn't, but like society makes it like such a fucking complicated thing. So sorry, I'm branching off and shit, but also real shit, bro. Like, developing a sense of self, like, can really help you just have a strong foundation to who you are. So like anything that people say to you, like you don't have to think twice about it, because you already have these developed sets of things to live your life by. I'm not going to take any advice from somebody I wouldn't ask for advice. A lot of people take into consideration what people say about them, and most people are not the people to be taking advice from. And like acting goofy and shit, and just being yourself and not caring what people think, that's like really, I don't know, liberating to like not care what people think, because it's just like people are like bound to these concepts that if they act weird around a person, that they're gonna be like chastised. And people say weird, and everybody, it's just, weird is an ideology, bro. Weird doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. Like, I embrace weird. I think it's good. I think it's good to have difference in your life, you know? Weird isn't anything. Weird is only something that you're not used to, you know? If you see a fucking, I don't know, if you see a dog walking a human, bro, that's weird, you know, because you just don't see it, you know? It's just unusual. That's all weird means. And when people are really undeveloped, they have no sense of self, and they're very uncomfortable being their self around people, they're gonna call other people weird when they are themselves, because that's unfamiliar to them, you know? So you should have nothing to be afraid of. The people who judge you, bro, you know, they're not in a place where they should be able to have the say on what you do, because they're nowhere near the place that they should be, you know? People should just learn about themselves and learn their strengths and learn their weaknesses and just run with that shit and develop yourself as a person. I fucking it's like some fucking simple shit, bro. I don't know. I hate to be fucking branching off topic like this. I'm kind of like losing my train of thought, but I don't know. Just developing a strong foundation for your life to be able to live a very happy and free life is what I'm trying to get at. That's the key point of this video. You know, saying that I love myself, and saying I'm beautiful or I'm handsome, giving yourself that validation, or giving yourself that validation, and boosting yourself up instead of letting anybody else kind of like fucking manipulate your confidence and shit. Another good thing that I like to live by is when people compliment me and when people say negative things about me. I appreciate the compliments that people do give me, because it's coming from the intentions behind what they're saying are pure, and I really appreciate that. But I want to know myself well enough as a person to not value other people's opinions. I don't, only because like when you at least for me, when I start to value people's opinions when they say positive things about me, then I might be a little bit more susceptible to take into consideration somebody else's negative opinion about me, and I'd rather just do my own thing, develop myself as a person, understand who I am and what I live by, and fucking just be me, be free, be happy. Like literally, bro, like valuing people's opinions is just, I don't know, it's just something else to take into consideration to develop a strong sense of self and develop a strong foundation to your life, and just living confidently and living happily. I feel like that's one of the things to kind of try to apply to your life. You know what I'm saying? It's some weird shit, bro. It's weird living on Earth, bro. I always say this, it's weird being human, it's weird living on Earth. It is. And it's like so simple, but it's so complicated at the same time. And sometimes, bro, I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, nobody understands. Like, nobody really knows what this is. Fucking half the people are like living in the Matrix, bro. Like, that's something, like, that is some shit right there, the Matrix, my nigga. I think there's they're saying like there's two types of people in this world. There's like red pill and blue pill people. And blue pill people, like, they like live the life that how can I put this? Like, you know, like they hear the shit that they want to hear, and they kind of live the life that they want to live. You know, they kind of live in this fantasy world. And red pill people just see everything for how it is. And fucking, I don't know, it's just like people who work. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that. Like, what does it take to be successful? You know? Like, what does it take to accumulate a lot of money? And I hear a lot of people say, you know, persistence is key, and, you know, just learning from your mistakes, not being able to fail. That's another thing, bro. People aren't comfortable with failing and, you know, looking like a fool. That's also an ideology, looking like a fool, because it means different things to everybody. And people need to learn how to embrace failure and how to take it, and how to take failure as an opportunity to learn what you did wrong. Because you're not going to be perfect like straight off the jump, bro. Like when you're born as a baby, you're not going to fucking know how to walk right off the fucking pussy, bro. You know, you got to fucking walk, fall down, get back up, try again. And you know, through persistence, you eventually learn how to fucking walk. And that applies for everything. You know, there's another thing. I hate to fucking branch off the matrix, but you know, just like that example with the baby, there's all these connections in life, man, and like kind of everything relates to another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the weather and fucking, like, I think like the weather and like kind of like mindfulness has this relationship, kind of like similar relationship with each other. And you know, like that cliche where they say it rains, it pours. But before I fucking branch off, bro, the matrix and like people who work like a 9 to 5 job, bro, like, you know, it's weird, bro. Like, you don't even think about it, or at least I don't even think about it. Fucking, like, when you're working a 9 to 5 job, bro, you don't even think about yourself, my nigga. Like, there's no time to think about yourself. You wake up. That's how most people are. You wake up, you go to work, you're fucking bad bored at work. You look forward to that 15-minute break that you have at work to go on your phone in the fucking bathroom. And like, it's crazy, like people really value that. I've had jobs, bro, like, yo, like I really, like, I'm valuing this time while I'm on the fucking toilet in the bathroom scrolling through videos on YouTube, bro. Like, people look forward to that time during work. It's fucking sad as it sounds, but that's just the world they live in. And you know, they leave work, and some people go to the bar or some shit. Some people go home because they're fucking exhausted. But they do that every day, and it's like, it's the rat race. It just makes no sense. There's no logic in fucking working a 9 to 5 job and living off your paycheck and not being able to live like a free life. It just, and you know, I say that, but that's also my opinion. You know, some people live a 9 to 5 job and live a very happy life. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it necessarily. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to work a 9 to 5 job. It's just that for myself, I'd rather just do what I want. I'd rather not have anybody on my fucking ass. And you know, I like having the power. I like having the responsibility, and I rather live like a fun life. I don't want to be doing the same thing every day inside, bro. Like, that's just fucking horrible. That's just not my shit. But a lot of people are just oblivious to their capabilities, and they feel like that's all they can get. It's just a 9 to 5 job. And they'll never experience the world from like, how can I put this? From like from this perspective that everything is gravy. Most people who work a 9 to 5 job don't think everything is gravy. But it is, though. It is and it isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when you have the money, bro, and you have these perspectives on life that, you know, provide you with a peace of mind, and you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. You don't have to worry about, you know, feeding your family. You know, life is pretty fucking good, bro. It's fucking beautiful. And when you appreciate the simple things in life, and you really do appreciate the simple things in life, life is fucking amazing. Like, you can fucking walk around and look at some grass, my nigga. At least I can. And fucking go look at the water, go look at the ripples in the water, and go look at like the texture on the flowers and the different colors and all that shit, bro. Cause it's fascinating to me. And I just appreciate the earth. So it's like, for me, I have this perspective where I'm just like fascinated every day. I'm just looking at shit all the time. Like, I'm looking at fucking like that fence and like houses, and I look at like how they're constructed and like what they're made out of and shit, and just like all these little things, man, and they just help me appreciate life more. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just like looking at a house and be like, oh, that's a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more than that. It's just like all these details into it. And like, you think about like how they built the house and like the blueprints and shit and the math that goes in it. It's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like my own craziness and how I think about it. But it does help me, you know, just fucking live a more fascinated life. People, like, I don't know, bro. People just don't understand. People don't understand that they can do whatever the fuck they want. But it's like, also like, anything worth having is worth working for and waiting for. So even though I say that you can have whatever you want, it's not gonna come like that. Like, on some real shit, bro, like, I'm probably not gonna be where I like my ideal like place of establishment in my life. It probably isn't gonna be for like the next, I don't know, maybe 10 years. Maybe in 10 years I'll be chilling. Maybe 15 years I'll be chilling, and it's like, but I have to put the work in, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. It's fucking, it's some real shit, bro. And it's like, it's nice to have the technology and like have people who've already went through it provide you with a blueprint, you know, of how to fucking be successful. And people who live in the Matrix, bro, are just oblivious to all this shit, bro. They're oblivious to fucking like religion. Like, religion is some bullshit, bro. Like, a lot of people, like, bro, religion, bro. Religion is fucking, I don't even know, bro. It's like, it's these ideologies that were developed by different sets of people, and it's like, these ideologies that were developed by these, you know, white people, the Muslim people, you know, they have Allah, we have fucking Jesus, you know, fucking Asian people have Buddha, and, you know, they kind of all provide the same message, you know, but all these people worship these different gods, you know, and it's weird, you know. The thing is, like, with a lot of these religions is that kind of like the core message of all of them is like in our essence as people. You know, like, when you grow up, you kind of like instinctually know not to kill your mom. So if you're not gonna kill your mom, bro, you know right from wrong. So you're gonna treat people as you want to be treated, you know, and you're gonna just try to live the I don't know, the most healthy way to live I don't know, kind of like the most healthy way to live in this system of people. So kind of there's, you're gonna be loving, love is a big thing. Everybody should just be loving to each other. And imagine how fucking gravy that would be if everybody was just fucking off the rip mad nice to each other all the time. Like, imagine how better the world would be. And a lot of people develop this state of arrogance, and they just they live in the matrix, and they're oblivious to it. They're oblivious to like how people should really live their lives. I don't think you should worship a god, and I say that, but I also don't believe that living a religious life is a bad idea. I think if you follow, if you're a Christian and you follow Christianity and shit, I don't think it's a bad idea to live as a Christian. I think it's pretty fucking dandy, actually. But I just don't believe in worshiping God. I don't believe in giving all this money to the churches. I don't believe in controlling people through fear. So I'm just a seeker of the truth, my nigga. That's all. That's all I am. And what sounds most truthful to me is that, like, God and Jesus and all these fucking ideologies that we worship are like, they're all within us. Like, God is us and the devil is us, and it's just like when we're like evil and when we're nice. You know what I'm saying? And it's just I don't know. I wonder where these influences came from. I need to do some more research on it. But it's some interesting shit, bro. Kind of faded, bro. So I'm just fucking going in and out of my fucking topics. I don't know, cuzzo. Like, what was I talking about before the Matrix? I was talking about motherfucking failure, I think. And like, I think I was talking about failure and how people are afraid of failure and how you should embrace that and take it as an opportunity to learn from it. And like, I don't know. Yeah, that's like a big thing. People don't understand that. Like, it's trial and error. That's like what everything is. It's making it a habit, learning from your mistakes. Let's see, a good example is fucking, I don't know, basketball, my nigga. Like, if you aim for 100 shots, you're probably not gonna make 100 shots in a row, my nigga. Like, that's just not how it's gonna go. The odds are, it's a possibility, but the odds are it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna shoot 100 3-pointers in a row. So through trial and error and persistence and a lot of fucking time and hard work, maybe like, I don't know, fucking maybe 6 months. I don't know, maybe less than that. Who the fuck knows? But like 6 months of fucking shooting 1,000 shots, maybe 2,000 shots a day, some shit like that. Eventually, you're gonna be able to make 100 shots. But if you were too afraid to fucking miss the shot, obviously you're not going to develop the skill set to fucking make 100 shots in a row. And like, that's what I was talking about earlier, all these connections. That idea still applies to your success. You're going to have to go through these failures and miss your shots to develop this skill set to make all your shots. That's just how it goes. And a lot of people fucking hold themselves back, in their own way. because they're so afraid to lose. And then because of that, they lose. You know what I'm saying? You're so afraid to lose that you lose, my nigga. Like, that's some knowledge, my nigga. That's some knowledge right there, bro. Like, niggas need to fucking understand that failure is fucking... It's good stuff. It's very good stuff. Another thing, bro, I had this fucking thing on my phone, and this is a cool quote. And it says, try not to be accepted by everyone, otherwise you will be truly invisible. And that's so facts, bro. Like, if you don't develop a sense of self, and like I see this with a lot of people, like I can tell when people don't have a sense of self, because when they're around different people, you know, they kind of try to act in a way that appeases them. Is that the word? Let's just say pleases them. And that's just not how it should be. If a person's not gonna fuck with you for you, then like what's the point of fucking with them? Because the relationship just isn't genuine. But I can tell when people don't have this sense of self, they kind of like conform to how other people act. And I used to do the same shit, bro. I was a people pleaser, and like I still am, low key, but like I'm working on it, and I'm trying to make it a habit, and I'm trying not to give a fuck about what other people think about me. And when people do say some shit negative about me, then it is what it is, bro. Like, I'm just not gonna fuck with you then, and I'm just gonna fuck with this other nigga, bro. That's just how it's gonna go. Like, everybody's not gonna fucking like you. That's just life. And like, some people just don't like that idea, but that's just life. Life is it's fucking happy, it's ugly, it's all this shit, bro. You just gotta learn to adapt and fucking roll with the punches, my nigga. Try not to be accepted by everyone, otherwise you'll be truly invisible. And like I was saying about all these connections and shit, all these connections that we have in life, like depression. I believe in depression. I think it's a real thing. I think people bring it upon themselves, you know, and it's usually the people who don't have the knowledge on how to get out of their own ruts and don't understand, you know, the science behind depression and shit. And when you're not able to talk yourself out of these situations and, you know, that type of shit. But, you know, I remember I was saying earlier about the cliche, when it rains it pours. I think that has this relation to depression. And, you know, when people get depressed, they get super sad. When it rains, you know, usually it fucking rains pretty hard for a little while. And you kind of just gotta persevere and, you know, thug it out through the rain. Same thing applies for mental health. And especially when there's a storm, you know, that's also like when a person's like really going through it, you know? When there's a really bad storm, bro, after that fucking storm, my nigga, say there's a storm at 12, clears up at fucking 6 o'clock, my nigga, and the sun's about to set, bro. The sunset is usually so beautiful, my nigga. It's fucking so beautiful. It's crazy. The fucking sky will be all cotton candy, nice cotton candy clouds, nice golden sunshine, bro. And it's just like, you usually don't see sunsets like that unless it's after a storm. And the same thing applies for when you're going through something in your life, bro. You just gotta learn to persevere. And it's like, you can't just play like the why me game, bro. You just can't do that. That's just too easy, and it's just not the way it works, my nigga. Like, you niggas need to learn how to take responsibility for why they're in a position that they're in, and, you know, work at it, bro. It's not gonna happen overnight, my nigga. Like, if you're in this rut and say you're just super lazy, nigga, it's a habit, my nigga. It's like everything that you do in a day it rolls over to like your mental state, my nigga. So if you take a piss and in the bathroom and you don't wipe up your piss on the toilet seat, bro, that is like a snowball effect, bro, and it starts to get bigger, and then you won't start putting your dishes away, you won't start making your bed, you won't start putting your clothes in the hamper and all that shit. But when you're already in that position, you know, small things, bro, like take a shower, bro, take one shower, brush your teeth, you know, wipe the piss off the toilet, like simple shit, bro, and you just do one simple thing every day, and you just make it a habit. That's you can apply that for everything, bro.